Hey, this is Elias from the band Nonpoint, and that just happened.
Hey guys, it is Front Row Joe of That Just Happened, and look who we got here at the bar. It is Elias from Nonpoint. Thank you so very much for spending time with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. So, got a great tour package. You're touring with POD. You've got some Greenville boys. Islander touring with you too. How's it been going so far? I mean, this is a stacked genre nu metal setup here.
Well, it's minus the weather, the shows have been outstanding. Crowds are packing it in. People are getting involved. It's engaged and having a good time. So that's always a plus to a tour. And then you got two other bands with us that are just right up our alley. So altogether, it's a great tour.
Yeah, good stuff. Let's talk about the new album, 10. It is not only maybe just the name of the album. Of course, it's the 10th album that you guys have put out over your 21-plus year career. And there are a lot of bands that have named their albums, after the number that it is. But is it more than just a number for you guys? Is it maybe an emphatic, this is our 10th album, to show that we're still thriving and in such a fantastically different business from when it was back when you guys started?
Yeah. We definitely wanted to remind everybody that we do have 10 records. A lot of people don't know that we have 10 records. So, it's definitely something that we wanted to put out front, ask the question, why is this record called 10? It's been a long, really great ride for us right now, and it's still going. So we wanted to hit that benchmark for everybody with the title.
Yeah, really cool. And this album, an emphatic stamp, as it were. It's the whole cover is the Roman numeral 10. So there's no other extraneous. It is 10, but it is one of only 3 albums that doesn't have the trademark mascot of the frog, and I know that you guys came out with that after a trip to Puerto Rico. Is it in fact modeled after the coqui frog?
Well, it was the beginnings of the band started in Puerto Rico. It moved into South Florida, and that's where we all kind of culminated there. But it's it's a symbol that's followed us, the entire, time, and people know that it's us. This being the 10th record, us going back to the beginnings, with a lot of our style and just mentally. For some reason, we tossed around the idea of throwing the frog on the front. But I don't know. We just do things because how we're feeling. We really don't put any, not that kind of deep, thoughts. The cover looked cool. We felt like it didn't need the frog, so it didn't make it.
Yeah. So the frog is reminding of the roots. Then if you say you're not putting that much thought into it, I won't ask the next question, which was, is it the logo now, is it a stylized that kind of harkens back to the Arawak tribe that was native to Puerto Rico that's not around anymore?
That's exactly where it stemmed from. It was just there was an artist down in Puerto Rico that Rob knew really well that took the coqui and made it into that version that we use on all of our records. But it was carved hundreds and hundreds of years ago in the caves of the indigenous people of Puerto Rico.
Right. That's cool. That's really cool. So a couple of tracks that I want to point out on the new album. Starts off with Empty Batteries, and it's really again, like the album art cover, it's really emphatic. It sets the whole tone for the record. What type of decision making is there in choosing a lead off track for an album for you guys?
We wanted to we went in knowing that was the first song.
Yep.
It was as it was starting to manifest, and we started putting it together. We knew that originally when we sat down to write the song, we thought it was going to be our big epic song for the record, as far as length and diversity in the song. But once it started kind of churning in the very beginning, we knew that it was going to be number one.
Yeah, that's very cool, very cool. Let's go to another track then. Chaos and Earthquakes. There's a lot in that song. There's political corruption. There's cyber terrorism. There's global warming. Are we going to survive?
That's the. I mean, the alarms were going off on the Poison Red, with songs like Generation Idiot and stuff like that, and we're finding ourselves literally sitting in the consequence of all those horrible decisions that we made over the past 2 years. Just socially and economically. So, I'm hoping people, take notice, and it seems like things are starting to swing in the opposite direction, and people are really starting to not only find their voices, but also to bring their communities closer. Communities are starting to grow and becoming a lot more self-reliant on each other, which is what the country was founded on. Communities taking care of each other. That's why there's separation of state and federal law. Because communities need each other and to grow and to take care of each other. So I'm hoping people see that in that song, and it invigorates them to take a look around at their community and really get involved.
That's great, because that was my next question. One of the things I think, I forget who, I have to look it up afterwards, who said it, but if you're coming out with a problem, you might better come up with a solution too, instead of just stating the problem. But
Yeah.
that's exactly what I was looking for, is what you're looking to accomplish for that song. You said it beautifully.
Yeah, well, you don't want to. I mean, people really don't want to hear political views or religious views or social views directly from an artist. They do forget that we're all citizens too, and we're all voters. I'm lucky enough to have a big enough platform to speak to a lot of people. So yeah, my opinion might reach further. But at the end of the day, I'm still a voter. I'm still, a community member. I still want to, help my neighbor and make sure that our neighborhoods are safe. So, when I get an opportunity to put that kind of subject matter in, and the song, musically is fitting, it'll make its way in there. Yeah.
Well, let's switch gears a little bit from the heaviness and the waxing philosophics. I explained to you a little bit about That Just Happened, so I'd like to end with asking the guys that we talk with if they have a That Just Happened moment that sticks out to them.
I'd say of this tour, it was just recently. We had an incredible show in Lancaster. It went nuts. I must have crowd surfed 4 times during the POD set. My tour manager was highly nervous that I was going to be dropped on my head and
It'd be the end of the tour.
Yeah, paralyzed for the rest of the tour. But we made out good. But it was one of those moments when every single time I made it back to the pit and made it onto my feet, I was like, wow, that just happened. That barely just happened.
Not 1, not 2, not 3.
Yeah, I think it was 4 times, if I remember correctly. It was a little foggy that night, but that's probably why I was crowd surfing.
Gotcha. So any acrobatics planned for tonight then?
Absolutely. Yeah. If you get me, tipsy enough, I'm sure there'll be some surfing going on.
Yeah. Well, there's no one watching the bar right now.
Exactly. They gotta. I'm in.
Well, we certainly appreciate the time. Thank you so very much. Can't wait for the set. Always a pleasure speaking with you, Elias. Guys, Front Row Joe, Elias, Nonpoint. And that just happened.